Alright, in this video we will continue from where we left off in the previous video. So we are implementing these two endpoints on the backend for creating a challenge and accepting the challenge. So overall we're working on implementing spars into the game, so PvP combat without consequences for user alliance and stuff like this. So basically we have two endpoints to implement: a create challenge that inserts challenges into the system, and an accept, which actually puts the user into combat. So for creating challenges, my idea is that we will first fetch recent challenges, just because we want to limit the amount of challenges the user can send, so he can't just fire off a million requests. And here we want to just select any challenges the given user has sent from within the last limit, how much the expiry has to be between spars. I think that's reasonable. Maybe let's just do something like 10 seconds. You can't send a challenge more than once every 10 seconds. That's reasonable. We do here, let's call it guard. What do we say? If this one is higher than 0, then you can only wait a bit before challenge. We can say max challenge 10 seconds. I like keeping it in one line. Do this, perfect. And then if we get to here, we can actually send the challenge. So let's do wait. Copilot could not figure this out, so we have to do it ourselves, which is fine. We do an insert into user challenge, and then we have to insert values. And could it get this right? So we need missing an ID for sure, which we probably need to import. We need to import this guy. The challenger become the current user, and the challenged will become the one who we targeted in the endpoint. So that's perfect, and we set the status to pending. Also good. I think we need to push some WebSocket information here. So on the right I have the combat router open, which is convenient because I can copy stuff from there. So we need to get a pusher instance. So this is the service we use for pushing messages for WebSockets. So in this case, what I'm thinking is that we want to push a message so that basically the target gets an instant notification that something is going on. So we can copy this. Basically we just need to say we're sending this notification to the target ID, so everybody are listening on a challenge with their own user ID. Send an event, and we get the type we just call challenged, and we return something like this. And then we can say, like we had for all these other endpoints, we use a base server response. That just means we're sending back a message with a success and a message like this. So that's actually it for creating the challenges. Then we go to the accept challenge, and this one we then need to actually start up a battle. So we can do fetch. These more complicated endpoints, I like splitting them up into fetch, guard, and then mutate. So we first need to get the challenge, and we also need to get the user, I think. So we can do that in parallel. Okay, fetch challenge, and I think should just import this fetch user method. So we have let me just show you. In the profile router at the very bottom, get user, fetch user. This is the method I'm getting, just so we don't duplicate code, because we already have that. We're using that frequently for fetching a given user. Routers fetch user, and we want to use that down here. So instead of actually writing this, we can do like that. Yes, so this one should be the challenge, and this one should be the user that is calling the endpoint. So the one that was challenged. That also means we can start writing our guards. So basically, if challenged ID is not equal to the one calling this endpoint, it's confusing language. Not your challenge to accept. Nobody should ever get this error, but just in case. Next, we do if challenge status is not pending, then challenge is not pending. It doesn't make sense to accept it. And now we then need to initiate combat. And the way we do this is that we have an initiate combat here. Initiate. No, not this. In the combat router, we have a function called initiate battle, and we're using that for starting up battles everywhere. So we'll just need to import this. Put here. Combat, exactly. And then in this accept challenge, we need to basically call something like this. Just get the result here. And sector, we will give the user sector, that is fine. User ID, here we will do challenge and challenged ID. Target ID, we will do challenge, challenger ID. Client, CTX drizzle. This one is to be sparring. I think those are the options. Just see, yeah, sparring is a combat type. And this one, determine arena background. We need to import that one as well from the combat router, I think. And in this case, we just give it unknown, and then I think, as I remember, this method just returns Colosseum background. So this one is just determining what background we're going to see. So this results in an object with a success field. So I think what we do now is that we say if result success, then we update the challenge status to be accepted. And do we probably want to push this again, so that now we want to tell the one who sent the challenge, challenger ID, that challenge, or yeah, challenge accepted. Course called spar accepted. Does that get it to one line? Nope. How do we get it to one line here? Okay, it could be in one line. Perfect. And then finally we return result, because result already had this success or not success, and then we can say you need to have this base server response type. Now they all have the base server response type, which is nice. I think that's it. We don't have any front end, so we're not kind of testing any of this stuff yet. We will do that in the next video, where I think we start up implementing front end for all this stuff. Cool. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.